Hey guys, hope everyone is doing great. I am live. I just wanted to kind of demo a software product that we're building along with the community and platform that we've had for several years now, the Sutton Capital community. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and I'm going to pull this up. So Sutton Capital now has built some AI tools. It's called vcprivateequity.com. So I just want to do a quick demo and we'll love your feedback. It's currently in beta, so people can play around with it. But if you check it out, if you go here, there's a couple workflows that we're looking at. So obviously, as you're building your platform and your community, it's always good to stay on top of the news feed. And obviously, there's a lot of these news aggregators out there. But what we're doing is we have an AI news reporter that will kind of give you a synopsis of the day. And every hour, and you can refresh it if you want, but essentially every hour it's creating brand new news feeds. And we have an AI journalist that is writing this themselves. So you're not going to have time to read an entire article, but what you have time to do is see a high level headline. So that's what we're doing. So we're writing content about venture capital, about private equity, and institutional allocators, right? So what are institutional allocators increasing their allocations to? Oh, private credit funds, right? So this is a great way to stay on top of the news. This is also mobile friendly, so it adjusts to your mobile screen, as you can see, and this is kind of a really slick news app. We will also have the capability to launch this on iOS, Android, and MacBook. So excited about that. Now, what's really cool is the robot chat. Some people may not like talking to real people. So just to have fun, all these people here, all these avatars are AI agents, and they're here to kind of stimulate the discussion. Now, obviously, when real people come in and communicate and contribute, it's going to be really interesting to see these AI avatars kind of come in. And then we also have a Sutton robot that will go out and do some research and give you answers at a more granular level. But part of it is just getting the discussion going and actually having insights from other characters that come from different backgrounds. But again, this is just to kind of have a little fun and kind of stimulate discussions. And it's funny, I found myself kind of engaging with these AI avatars, talking about events, talking about trends in AI. So take a look at that. And then as many of you are building your careers, sometimes it's good to sharpen your careers, because part of it is getting into the industry. The second piece is staying in the industry. So we've built these the AI interview simulators, where you can actually start preparing for interviews for venture capital, private equity, and investment banking. So, so again, here's a question here. Walk me through your understanding of venture capital asset class. What makes it distinct from private equity or traditional markets? So I'm just going to answer a really quick, short question, but with VC, you're looking to gain outsized returns, for a longer period of time, and there's no metrics, right? Usually in the early stage, So let's see how I did with that interview question. You can kind of go in here and train and do practice interviews, and then the Sutton robot will come back. As you can see, that's a good start. However, truly to distinguish venture capital, we need to delve deeper into why those metrics might be less established. So as more and more people are kind of doing these interviews, it's getting much more smarter, and then it gets more advanced as well. So again, just to sharpen your set, you can do interview questions on private equity, right? And then if you want to reset, obviously, if you want to really, really push yourself, you can do investment banking. So it's going to walk through, obviously in the beginning, walk through your resume and highlight any experiences. In the future, what we can do is just add audio interviews too. So you just hit the microphone, say your response, it'll process your response and tell you how you did. So I think that's going to be really exciting. Now, when it comes to deal tools, a lot of people have different deal flow management tools that they're using. So essentially what you can do is create a memo, an AI memo creator, and you upload your memo or you paste a link. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to use a public link. Let's just use WeFunder, right? And this is a public deal that's just available on a crowdfunding site, right? That way you don't, publish anything that's private. But let's say I'm going to create this memo. It's going to process the memo, review all the data that's in the link, or if you upload a PDF or a Word doc, it'll process that it'll take that information and then actually build out a memo using completely AI. Now, what's really cool is you can test this. If you want to take this to your Monday partners meeting, you want to add collaborators, you want to comment on this, this is great. And it looks like it just processed that WeFunder investment memo right there. So I can go in there. But, I go in there and then now I can go in and say, hey, you know what, which ones are my Monday partner meetings? Which ones did I pass on? It looks like I passed on this healthcare deal, or I can look at all of them, right? So it's a great way to organize your deal flow. You can also, type ahead, super robust search. But, if you think about it, this manages your deal flow, right? You come in on Monday, what are we reviewing in our Monday partners meeting? What are the deals that I passed on? What are the deals that are currently in diligence? So it pretty much organizes all the workflows all in one. When you log in, only you can see this. So this is kind of your private little investment memo experience. And then many of us, as we evolve in our career, we want to build a fund, right? So how big is your fund? We kind of started to take a lot of these Excel fund models and digitize this into kind of these little easy to move widgets, right? So let's say you've got a $100 million fund, right? It automatically comes in, calculates the data, and then it already calculates the fees, right? 22% of 100 million. It already shows how much reserve in dollars gets translated depending on how much of a reserve you want to have. And as you can see, the dials move. And then you're essentially kind of building this fund, right? You're constructing the portfolio. Maybe you're doing a seed to Series A strategy, and it actually helps you track how much dry powder you have and how you're building this, right? So in this example here, it looks like, there's still 47 million remaining, right? So let's do like 3,500K checks, and then maybe another, and then maybe we do a couple, we lead in a couple of these deals, right? So you come in here, and again, you're going to lead the Series A. You're going to do so I'm just going to do this until the fund is complete, right? And then that should kind of go out to show how much you're deploying, because you're not deploying everything, right? There's some reserve as well, and then the remaining goes in fees. So it's important to kind of really see how all of the capital gets spread out across all of the different considerations. And then, there's some historical data that gets fed into this. Again, this is for illustrative purposes only. This is just a software tool. So obviously talk to your attorney, do your own fund models. Then we have some educational, information on what all of these mean. So again, just for illustrative purposes, but it's just a little easier to use than using a Excel spreadsheet. So hopefully this is helpful. Feel free to play with it. It's a pretty easy to remember domain. It's just vcprivateequity.com. So hopefully it helps, and excited to hear what you think about it.